हाय एवरीवन, वेलकम टू अर्पिता शर्मा क्लासेस। आप सभी का स्वागत है अर्पिता शर्मा क्लासेस में। टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू एनालाइज द हिंदू न्यूज़पेपर फॉर 8th ऑफ सितंबर 2020. So we are going to decode the newspaper for 8th of September 2020. 8 September 2020 का न्यूज़पेपर आज हम decode करने जा रहे हैं. I hope you all must have read the newspaper yourself also and you can clear all your doubts from this analysis class. आपके जो भी डाउट्स हैं न्यूज़पेपर से रिलेटेड इस एनालिसिस के क्लास में वो डाउट्स भी सॉल्व हो जाएंगे, राइट? सो लेट्स स्टार्ट डिकोडिंग द न्यूज़पेपर डिकोड करना शुरू करते हैं. बिफोर दैट, एज यूजुअल, द announcement that I'm going to make. You all know that the PDF of the lecture, it is uploaded on the Telegram channel. क्लास का जो PDF होता है वो Telegram channel पे अपलोड कर दिया जाता है, right? तो वहां से आप डाउनलोड कर सकते हो नोट्स को. ऑल्सो द लिंक टू द टेलीग्राम चैनल इज गिवन बिलो इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स. Okay, here's another announcement. I'm taking live classes on Unacademy Plus as well. So you can get 10% discount by using this code Sharma20. Sharma20 कोड यूज करके आपको easily 10% discount Unacademy Plus पर मिल सकता है. So you can apply this code, and also after 10th September now the prices are going to rise on Unacademy Plus. So accordingly you need to सब्सक्राइब. अगर आप सब्सक्राइब करना चाहते हो, फ्यूचर में प्लान कर रहे हो, तो आप अभी सब्सक्रिप्शन ले सकते हो, ठीक है? दिस इज हाउ वी टीच ऑन अनअकैडमी प्लस, राइट? इधर एजुकेटर होता है, देन द कमेंट सेक्शन इज ओपन फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू टू आस्क योर डाउट्स ऑल्सो, राइट? सो नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द न्यूज. Government intervention in education policy should be minimal, says Prime Minister. So addressing the inaugural session of Governors' Conference on National Education Policy, Prime Minister asserted that government's intervention or interference in education policy should be minimal. राइट, हमारे प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने कहा है कि गवर्नमेंट का जो इंटरफेरेंस, दखल अंदाजी होती है ना नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में, वो कम से कम होनी चाहिए, राइट? बेसिकली गवर्नमेंट्स इंटरवेंशन शुड बी लेस इन द एजुकेशन पॉलिसी. ही वाज एड्रेसिंग द इनॉग्रल सेशन ऑफ गवर्नर्स कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑन एनईपी एंड ही सेड दैट एजुकेशन पॉलिसी एंड एजुकेशन सिस्टम ना, these are two important means of fulfilling the aspirations of the country. हमारी कंट्री में जो युवा हैं उनके एस्पिरेशंस को पूरा करने के लिए एजुकेशन पॉलिसी और एजुकेशन सिस्टम टू फाउंडेशनल स्टोन्स हैं, पिलर्स हैं, राइट? तो इसमें अगर गवर्नमेंट कम से कम दखल अंदाजी करे, पॉलिटिक्स कम से कम इसमें आए, उतना ज्यादा अच्छा. पॉलिटिक्स, गवर्नमेंट should, the interference should be minimal. Then only these two foundations can become more stronger. The central and state governments as well as local bodies all have responsibility for the education system. But it is also true that government's interference or intervention in education policy should be minimum so that it can grow properly, right? The Prime Minister felt it would help transform the country. This new education policy, this new national education policy will help transform the country into a knowledge economy and tackle brain drain by paving the way to open local campuses of global educational institutions. You all know the meaning of brain drain. जब यहाँ बच्चा ट्रेनिंग लेता है, पढ़ता है और फिर सर्विसेज बाहर जाकर देता है, राइट? बाहर जाके सेटल अप हो जाता है, उसे हम ब्रेन ड्रेन कहते हैं. The policy would also prepare the country's youth for the jobs of the future in a world where the nature of work was undergoing change as well. Moving forward, hypersonic cruise vehicle test puts India in elite club. Now here the national education policy na, we already have discussed it. I am also going to give a link over here. यहाँ पर एक आई बटन होगा ना टॉप में वीडियो में, राइट? वहां मैं एक लिंक भी दे दूंगी जो नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी हमने डिस्कस की थी अगस्त के मंथ में, राइट? सो यू कैन ऑल्सो check out that video. Now the hypersonic cruise vehicle test puts India in elite club. Again very important news. Now this is important from the perspective of prelims. ये prelims 2020 हो या 2021 or 22. For all these three attempts, this news is very important. Hypersonic cruise vehicle. So Defense Research and Development Organization conducted a flight test of the HSTDV, that is the Hypersonic Technology Demonstrator Vehicle. This is very important. So what is this? This is a project, it's a very ambitious project of DRDO, right? Here DRDO, इसके बारे में भी आपको पढ़ना है, right? About DRDO also for prelims you need to prepare. So first question they can ask you, under which ministry DRDO works? DRDO किस मिनिस्ट्री के अंडर काम करती है? It is Ministry of Defense. MOD, write it down please. It works under the administrative control of Ministry of Defense, and it is working to establish world-class science and technology base for India, and it provides our defense services the decisive edge also. How? By equipping them with internationally competitive systems and solutions. Okay. And who is the incumbent chairman of DRDO? It is Dr. G. Satish Reddy. Okay. DRDO was established in which year? 1958. 1958 में established हुआ था. How it was established? Two administrative units were combined together. First was TDEs, that is Technical Development Establishment of the Indian Army, and second was DTDP, right? That is Development and Production. It was with the Defense Science Organization. तो Indian Army का TDE और Defense Science Organization का DTDP, that is the Directorate of Technical Development and Production. These two were merged together to form DRDO. ठीक है, इतनी बात सबको समझ आ गई? This is very very important. Clear? Now presently there are 5,000 scientists which are working in DRDO. 5,000 scientists हैं. ठीक है, चलो. Now the HTDV project, it is a very ambitious project of DRDO, and it is intended to serve multiple military and civil purposes. Civil purpose plus military purpose. Underline and write it down. सिर्फ military purpose के लिए इसको नहीं तैयार किया जा रहा है, civil purpose के लिए भी तैयार किया जा रहा है. It is an unmanned scramjet demonstration aircraft. Underline. You have to understand scramjet demonstration aircraft also. हम ये पढ़ेंगे अभी. Don't worry, we will study this. Right, so it's an unmanned scramjet demonstration aircraft for hypersonic speed flight, which can cruise at a speed of 6 Mach and move up to a height of 32.5 kilometers in 20 seconds. Right, and it can be used for launching cruise missiles. It will also serve the purpose of launching satellites at low cost. Remember this particular point for prelims. Please इसको याद रखना prelims के लिए. इसका aim क्या है, purpose क्या है. Now what are the features of HSTDV? Hypersonic cruise vehicle was launched using a proven solid rocket motor which took it to a height of 30 km, where the aerodynamic heat shields were separated at hypersonic speed. It uses a scramjet engine. याद रखना इसको, prelims के लिए important है ये. कौन सा engine use करता है ये? Scramjet engine use करता है. ठीक है? It uses the scramjet engines. Okay. Now, in which air enters at supersonic speed and comes out at hypersonic speed. Supersonic speed में air enter करती है और बाहर निकलती है hypersonic speed में. ठीक है, clear? Now what is the importance of this vehicle? अब DRDO के लिए ये जरूरी क्यों है? The DRDO successfully demonstrated the hypersonic air breathing scramjet technology. This testing makes a way for development of more critical technologies, and these technologies will help us to launch satellites at low cost also. It will save our cost also, right? Now what is scramjet engine technology demonstrator? ये होता क्या है ये समझ लेते हैं. This is very very important. As of now, satellites are launched into orbit by multi-staged satellite, right? Orbit में stage 1 होता है, right? Stage 2, stage 3. After these stages, the satellite is launched in the orbit, right? And the launch vehicles, these can be used only once. ये जो launch vehicles होते हैं, इसको सिर्फ एक बार ही use किया जाता है. So you can say it increases the cost of our country in launching the satellites. Satellites launch करने में हमारा cost, हर बार नया satellite, हर बार उस satellite को modify करो, right? So it increases the expenditure. Now these launch vehicles carry oxidizer along with fuel for combustion to produce the thrust which is necessary to launch the satellite. So nearly 70% of the propellant carried by today's launch vehicles consist of oxidizer. And the launch vehicles designed for one-time use are very expensive. And when they are expensive, their efficiency is low because they can carry only 2 to 4% of the lift-off mass to orbit, right? So to reduce the launch cost, we use this scramjet engine technology demonstrator, right? Now the next generation launch vehicles, they must use a propulsion system which can utilize the atmospheric oxygen during their flight through the atmosphere, which will considerably reduce the total propellant required to place a satellite in the orbit. They will not require oxidizer. So ramjet, scramjet, dual mode ramjet, these are three concepts of air breathing engines which are being developed by various space agencies, and currently we are using scramjet. So ये याद रखना, ramjet, scramjet, dual mode ramjet, इसको हम टेस्ट कर रहे हैं और अभी हमने scramjet को यूज करना यूज करने के बारे में सोच रहे हैं. ओके. Now a ramjet, what is a ramjet? Ramjet is a form of air breathing jet engine that uses the vehicle's forward motion to compress incoming air for combustion without a rotating compressor. Fuel is injected in the combustion chamber and that fuel mixes with the hot compressed air and it ignites. It provides the thrust, right? And ramjet works most efficiently at supersonic speeds only. Underline this. Now the second is scramjet. It is an improvement over the ramjet engine because it efficiently operates at hypersonic speeds and allows supersonic combustion. So it is known as supersonic combustion ramjet or scramjet. ठीक है? Dual mode ramjet, it's a type of jet engine where ramjet transforms into scramjet over Mach 4 to 8 range. This is a speed, right? Now the next important news. Odisha villagers set to join mobile highway. A very, very important news for your prelims. Mobile network connectivity is being started in Swabhiman area at the villages of Piplapadar, Hantalguda and Jantapal, which did not have mobile connectivity earlier. तो अंदर इसको अंडरलाइन करना, ये स्वाभिमान एरियाज हैं. दीज आर स्वाभिमान एरियाज. सो व्हाट इज स्वाभिमान आंचल? दिस क्वेश्चन हैज बीन आस्क्ड अगेन एंड अगेन, राइट, इन दी मॉक टेस्ट. जितने भी इंस्टीट्यूट्स मॉक टेस्ट कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं ना, उनमें ये क्वेश्चन बार बार आ रहा है. सो देर आर हाई चांसेस बहुत हाई हैं दैट इट कैन बी आस्क्ड इन योर प्रीलिम्स ऑल्सो. प्रीलिम्स 2020 और 21 और इवन 22. Swabhiman Anchal, due to threats from left-wing extremists, mobile towers could not be installed until now in Swabhiman Anchal. What is Swabhiman Anchal? Formerly it is known as the cut-off area. It is located along the Odisha-Andhra Pradesh border. It comprises of 151 villages. यहाँ पर कुछ Swabhiman Anchal ना एक area है जो कि ओडिशा आंध्र प्रदेश के border पे है. This is an area near the border of Odisha Andhra Pradesh where there are 151 villages and this area is surrounded by water on 3 sides. Right? So it becomes less remote after the construction of Gurupriya Bridge in 2018. Underline this, where this Gurupriya Bridge was constructed. 2018 में construct किया गया था स्वाभिमान आंचल में, which connected the zone with the rest of the state. And Odisha has the most number of villages in the country with no mobile service. So now Odisha villagers are going to get the mobile highway as well, right? So 7 towers यहाँ पर construct किए जाएंगे. The mobile network connectivity will be given in this area. Okay. Next important news, Center launches 24/7 toll-free mental health rehab helpline. Again very important for prelims. इस साल mental health के ऊपर काफी बात हुई है, right? Because of lockdown also there were issues regarding mental health. Then Sushant Singh Rajput case also mental health का issue आया था, right? So this mental health plus pandemic की वजह से काफी mental health जो है वो affect हुई है, right? The people who lost their family members because of coronavirus, they could not get the bodies of their family members, so that also affects the mental health. There has been a lot going on in 2020 because of which there was a serious toll on the mental health of people. So you have to study this topic for GS paper 1 also, for your essay paper also, and for prelims also. So Union Social Justice and Empowerment Ministry has launched Kiran. Underline the ministry. They will definitely ask questions related to ministry. Which ministry has launched Kiran, which is a mental health rehabilitation helpline. ये app नहीं है, ये helpline है. It's a helpline, okay? And it has been launched by Social Justice and Empowerment Ministry. It's a 24/7 toll-free helpline to provide support to people facing anxiety, stress, depression, suicidal thoughts and other mental health concerns. It will be available in 13 languages. It would function as the first step for callers to get advice, counseling and referral to psychologists and psychiatrists. Okay, and according to Nimhan survey in 2015-16, 10.6% of adults and 7.3% of adolescents faced mental illness. Right, and there was a shortage of qualified mental health professionals. So this is a very good initiative launched by the Social Justice and Empowerment Ministry. RBI set sectoral norms for resolution of COVID-19 stress related assets. The Reserve Bank of India has specified 5 financial ratios and sector specific thresholds for resolution for solving the COVID-19 related stress in 26 sectors, including auto components also, aviation also and tourism also. So RBI ने क्या किया है, केवी कामत के नेतृत्व में चेयरमैनशिप में कमिटी, एक्सपर्ट कमिटी तैयार की है. Remember this. Why this expert committee has been formed? To solve the sector specific problems related to COVID-19 related stressed assets. And who is the chairman of this expert committee? KV Kamath. Okay, KV Kamath Committee submitted its report on September 4, 2020. The key financial ratios suggested by KV Kamath Committee are total outside liabilities upon adjusted tangible net worth, total debt to EBITDA, current ratio, which is current assets divided by current liabilities, debt service coverage ratio, average debt service coverage ratio. If you're a commerce student, if you have taken commerce in class 11, 12, or you had also continued your BCom education, or you are practicing chartered accountant, or you are studying CS or CA, then you must know about these ratios, right? वैसे इस ratios का आपको अगर आपके पास economics optional है या accounting optional है तभी पढ़ना है. If you do not have economic or accounting optional, then no need to go deeper into these ratios. Just remember the name of these ratios. Okay, the ratios prescribed are intended as floors, but the resolution plans shall take into account the pre-COVID-19 operating and financial performance of the borrower also. Okay. Now, this news we covered on 8th August 2020. News हमने 8th August में cover की थी. Right? What was the news? The Reserve Bank of India constituted proposed expert committee under chairmanship of KV Kamath. Now they have submitted their report September 4, 2020. 8th August को form किया था. The committee was formed on 8th August 2020 and they have taken one whole month to submit their report. ठीक है? Now the next important news, RBI to buy sell G-Secs or G securities worth 10,000 crore. So the Reserve Bank of India has announced the simultaneous purchase and sale of Government of India securities for 10,000 crore each under the open market operation. The auction will take place on September 10, right? That is tomorrow. So now what is Government of India securities? This is important for prelims. ये prelims के लिए important है. Government security is a tradable instrument issued by central government or state government. Underline this. Both central or state government can issue them. It acknowledges government's debt obligation. And such securities are of two types. Short-term securities, which are known as T-bills, which the maturity is less than 1 year. And long-term security known as government bonds or dated securities and maturity is 1 year or more. In India, central government issues T-bills also and the long-term securities also, that is government bonds also, which are also known as state development loans. G-Secs, they carry practically no risk of default and hence are called risk-free gilt-edged instruments. Remember this. इसमें कोई risk नहीं होता ना, तो इसलिए इसको हम risk-free gilt-edged instruments भी कहते हैं. This is again important for your pre. Now this was all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's class. If you really enjoyed, do not forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet and like this video. Also, you can use code Sharma20 to get 10% discount on Unacademy Plus. Thank you.